This feels fucking weird. I know the last video for you was on the what, the 23rd, I think. So it's been about a week. For me though, the last time I recorded, well, I don't do I want a fucking winner? Well, actually there's what the hell is going on with this ice generation? Why is there one piece of ice at oh, my speakers are on. Why is there one piece of ice at each chunk? That is weird. Um, anyway, I know for you it's been about a week. For me, it's been like 2.5 weeks or some shit. I haven't recorded in so fucking long. I legitimately do not. Okay, what the hell is going on with all this ice bullshit? I think I'm being haunted by some shit. It is Halloween today, but I think I might be. I think I might be cursed or some shit. Um, I don't remember how to record. I honestly do not remember how to record. So you're gonna have to be patient with me as I remember how to do this shit. I don't like this spawn. By the way, I am doing a new world. Because I fucking want to. I don't know what to tell you. It's just sometimes you just feel certain ways. You're like, you know what? Fuck that old Minecraft world. I want a new piece of shit. Honestly, look at this shit. This is beautiful. All right, we're doing this. Um, Welcome. Today's Halloween. You'll be seeing this tomorrow. So you'll see this on the 1st of November. Yeah, if you didn't see my is Minecraft quiet? Well, it's at 100, so. Oh, this is really quiet. I guess I did get a new everything. Now 100 is like, oh, that's loud as fuck. For me at least. That's loud as hell for me. I got kind of new like volume going on here. Well, I mean, I did upgrade some pretty substantial parts of my system, to be fair. Okay, I think that's fine. Anyway, if you didn't see my like community post, do they still call them community posts? I think they're just called posts now. There's some pumpkins. If you didn't see my like post on YouTube about what happened, why I haven't uploaded in a week, it's because my computer, um, oh my God, that is loud. Okay, I guess 50 is fine, but that system sound feels hella quiet here. Give me a second to figure this out. I think it might be hella quiet. I ca Whoa, was that always in stereo? Okay, I'm losing my shit. Like that's hella loud, but that in the recording, this sounded fine. So I think I just got to turn it down on my end. Well, anyway, yeah, my computer, it died. It very much died. It actually died while I was recording a video. Because if you remember, I was talking about the fact that I was going to record this is loud as fuck. That I was going to record No, I'm Not a Human. Okay, this should be good. I was going to record No, I'm Not a Human for my like for the Halloween season. So I was recording that, and about 5 minutes in, my computer just turned off, and it is quite funny because I record in MKV, which unlike MP4 is a very like adaptive format. It's a very good format compared to MP4 for one, but it's very like adaptive isn't quite the word I'm looking for. It's very I guess adaptive makes sense, but there is a word that I'm thinking of. It's very like variable, in like a good way. Like like you can pause the recording and like watch the recording that you've made. Like MKV files can't be corrupted, pretty much, in the same way that MP4 files can be corrupted. Like if you're recording with MP4, oh, that was my sister. If you're recording on MP4 and like, for instance, your computer turns off, from like your power or something. Just if it stops recording suddenly, um, in MP4, then that like file will be corrupted, right? Like you won't be able to access the file. Um, but if you record MKV, that's not the case. So I do have the like recording when that happened of my computer just dying, and it's very funny looking back on it. But yeah, that happened. And I my first thought was that, oh, I just pressed the power button with my foot, because that is a thing that happens um, weirdly weirdly commonly. I managed to press the power button on like my surge protector with my foot. It's literally the fucking Germa bit, not even a bit because it was real, but the Germa thing wherever he turned his computer off with his foot on stream. Um, but yeah, that actually happens to me pretty often. So the first thing I think is, oh, it was just that again. But then like what the hell is going on with this tree? There's like 4 trees in one here. Um, that's my first thought. But then I kind of take in my surroundings, and I'm like, my foot isn't where my surge protector is, so I'm not. That's not what's happened here. So anyway, I go down to press the power button on my computer, as you do to turn the computer back on, and there's nothing. It doesn't. There's nothing happens once I press the power button, and I'm like, okay, that's not good. But it's probably just like some cable just needs to be plugged in fully, just something like that. Um, ooh, my sister's gonna go Halloween thrifting. Ooh, I might join her. It's at 1 p.m. It's 9 a.m. right now. Here, wait, let me message her. Wait, give me a second. Hold on. Anywho, what was I saying? Oh, my fucking, oh my god, everything. Why? How is this open perpetually? What the fuck is going on? Okay. What was I saying? Um, how the hell does sugarcane grow here? Um, Genuinely, what was I talking about? I was, oh yeah. But I just think, oh, there's just some bullshit going on with like the damn cords or something. I just gotta plug in some cord, maybe turn on the PSU. Are you being attacked by a wolf? Oh, that's sad. Well, let me go get this damn wool before the wolf kills this one too. Um, but anyway, yeah. So I kind of budge around with the cables. I press the power button, and oh, do I not have push to shear or push to shear? What the fuck are you saying? Push to shear, punch to shear. Well, it's fine. I'll just make shears. Okay, what the hell is going on? Okay, here we go. Um, please stop. Okay, now we're good. So I press the power button again, and nothing happens. And at this point, I've started to kind of accept my fate that something might be wrong here with my computer. And I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to deal with this shit. Um, but alas, I did have to deal with that shit, because when I got when I leaned back in down to the computer, I smelt burned plastic. And that's, yeah, that kind of wasn't, it was kind of demoralizing there. Um, so yeah, at that point I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna need to actually fix this shit. Here, I see this cave here. I want to go in. So at this point I've accepted that I need to actually fix this shit. Because burnt plastic is not good. Computers aren't supposed to do that. If you don't know much about computers, they aren't supposed to typically burn. Um, so my first thought is that, okay, there's something fucked up with the motherboard. Now, why would that be my first thought? Because I've detailed my computer situation a bit in the past, in that this was originally a pre-built from Acer. I don't think I ever mentioned what it was from, but yeah, it's a pre-built from Acer from like 2019. Um, and what I'm rocking now is just like a heavily modified version of that. Like over the years, I've just upgraded parts. I've put in a new, oh my god, I just made another fucking stone pickaxe. Um, I've put in a new GPU. I've put in new fans. A new case was really the big thing. But I never put in a new motherboard. And the thing is with that motherboard on my old computer is that it was fucking weird. It just like wasn't like a normal motherboard. It had it was an ATX, but it had a tumor on it in the sense of like it was square, but then the part where like the battery was for some reason just like jutted out. It was just a weird ass motherboard. So I actually planned to replace it many years ago. Um, I say many years ago. It was like 2 years ago. Um, but yeah, I planned to replace it. So I ordered a new motherboard and I actually did put it into the system. The thing is, at that point, I was using Arch Linux, like a manual install of Arch Linux. And whenever I put in the new motherboard, for some reason, it would not detect my install of Arch Linux. So I was like, okay, I don't want to deal with this right now. And then I just put in my old motherboard. And then I never dealt with it for like another year until now. So, my first thought was, okay, that shitty ass motherboard finally gave out. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll put in the effort. This is very, very beautiful, by the way. I'll put in the effort of installing this new motherboard. So I go to install the new motherboard. You have to give me a second though to remember the whole like chronology of the events because it was so long ago at this point that I barely remember like the order of shit that happened. But yeah, I put in the new motherboard, and then what happened? I put in the new motherboard. I gotta remember. I gotta look at like my messages on Discord to see what happened. Um, Let me search motherboard. Oh, right. Okay, so what happened? What happened is I needed thermal paste as well because I was gonna, if I take off the CPU, I would have to re-thermal paste it. Um, so I needed thermal paste, so I went to Best Buy to get thermal paste. Um, And while I was at Best Buy, they had a thermal take PSU, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I might as well get a new PSU as well, because that PSU I had was also from the shitty pre-built. I never upgraded that, so kind of at this point, I was like, okay, I just need to upgrade. Those kind of seem like the two most like ones that were prone to failure because they weren't like branded. You know what I mean? Here, give me a second. Like they weren't thermal take. They weren't whatever the fuck, Here, I feel like I'm very loud. Maybe this should be fine. Um, they were like proprietary to whatever pre-build I was running. Like they weren't like Acer, but they were like I don't know, like they could only be found in that pre-built. So my thought was, okay, these parts aren't good. They're finally shitting themselves. So I got a Thermaltake PSU. Um, and yeah, then I went home and I called my friend who was gonna help me install everything because I'm not very. Like, I know a little bit about hardware, but not a ton. So I was gonna need some help for sure. So we called, and I put in the new motherboard. I put in the new CPU, and then um, I hear footsteps. And then at that point, it did. What happened at that point? I think at that point it turned on, but it wasn't posting, as in it wasn't it wasn't like displaying anything on my like monitor. Um, so then I look at the debug lights on the motherboard, which are, I mean, their name kind of describes themselves. They're debug lights that light up whenever you like there's like four lights and they correlate to different components. So like if the CPU light is lit up, then something's fucked up with the CPU. Or like if VGA is lit up, something's fucked up with the graphics card, et cetera, et cetera. Um, so the CPU light was lit up, and at that point, I'm like, fuck. I, I mean, I might as well get a new fucking CPU at this point too. Um, so I had a i5 8400, and I upgraded to a i7 9700K, which is what I'm using currently. Obviously I installed it. So yeah, I upgraded to an i7 9700K. I installed it, put in the heat sink and the thermal paste and all that bullshit. I go to turn it on, and the CPU light is still on. Okay, that's not good. I go to reseat the CPU. Just like, okay, maybe it's, you just reseat it. Take it out, put it back in. That's like the first thing you always try. Um, so I try that, and now not only is the CPU light on, but the RAM light is on, which hasn't flicked on this entire time. But now it's kind of like alternating lights between the CPU and the RAM. And then at this point, I do what I do best, and I gave up. I was like, you know what, this is beyond my fucking league. I've installed a new motherboard, a new PSU, a new CPU. I can't. I don't know what the fuck to do anymore. This is too much for little old me. So I look for tech stores, like repair stores in my area, and I find one that has good reviews, and they're like a local business. Um, I go there, I explain to them what's going on. I pay the like diagnosis fee. Um, and then, at this point now I just have to wait and, see what they say. And then they call me the next day. Um, and they say, "Hey, this isn't looking too good." Pretty much is what they said. And I was like, "Yeah, I know." Um, and then they kind of just tested it for the next 2 weeks. Um, yeah, and the only update they gave me during that time was that they tested the hard drives and that they were fine, which I'm very grateful for. I'm very grateful my hard drives didn't like fry or whatever the fuck. Um, which reminds me, I definitely need to back these up. But anyway, and then um a few like earlier this week they call me, or no, sorry, I called them, and I asked them how I was going, and they said that yeah, they took out all of the parts, they reseated everything, they cleaned everything, and then it was able to turn on again. I was like, oh, thank fuck. But then they said that for some reason the RAM was acting up and getting like insanely high temperatures to the point that it almost burned the repair person's hand when they touched it, which is very unlike RAM. But anyway, I was like, okay, I'll just buy a new fucking RAM then, I guess. At this point, I've replaced fucking everything in this damn computer. I might as well just get new RAM too. Only thing was with RAM, if you don't know, the prices of RAM have recently skyrocketed because of artificial intelligence demand, which is a sentence that is very, very horrid to utter, but it is real. So the price of, well, whenever I bought my RAM in 2019, I bought 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM new for $40. And then this week, I bought 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM used for $40, which if you know anything about like computer prices, that's not a good, it's not good for new to be the same price as used 6 years later. Um, but yeah, DDR4 16 gigabyte prices since then have gone up double. They're now like $80 for 16 gigabytes of DDR4. If you want like 32 gigabytes of DDR4, that's like $30 or some shit, which is ridiculous. And I don't have the money to be paying for all of that. I've already bought a new fucking PSU and CPU and fucking motherboard. Well, I didn't buy the motherboard, but you know all that shit. So you know, I just like I don't have the money to be buying like a new thing of RAM. Um, Hold on. I'm thirsty as fuck. Um, but you know, I don't have a lot of money buying new RAM. So I went with the used route. I messaged about like 10 people on Facebook Marketplace. And then eventually someone responded and I went over to their house and I bought their RAM. They were very kind and I bought their RAM. I brought it into the repair store the next day, and you know, later in the day, I go back to the repair store, I grab my computer, I waltz my way home, and that was yesterday. And now it's today, and I'm playing Minecraft. Um, Now, of course, the the worst part about this is that it happened at the only point in my life where like I've had free time. Like, you know, I was working a job while I was recording all those other episodes. Now that I'm not working a job because I'm still waiting on the fucking postal service um to email me with my start date and whatever. Um the one time where I don't have shit to do, I don't have access to my main hobby, um, which is fine. Like I figured out shit to do, but it did feel like that my life kind of like went on pause for like the past like 3 weeks or whatever. Um, like recording just kind of kept me like aware. It just kept me like kind of conscious, I guess. I don't know, like without like recording, I kind of just didn't know what to do. It took me like a few days to get into the swing of like doing other stuff. Um, like I did do a handful of stuff, um, at first I started playing music on like my synthesizer. I scanned a bunch of like, cassette J cards. I just did a bunch of other shit that didn't have to do with my computer. Um, I did try and record on my laptop, but my laptop's not good enough to record. It was very, very, it kept dropping so many frames. I just couldn't record on my laptop. I also kind of wasn't in the mood to record. I kind of just like I kind of wasn't ready until I had my desktop back. Um, you know, so yeah, it was funny in the repair store, the kind of dichotomy between me and the other person who was there, because the other person who was there was like an old lady, bless her heart. Um, but I went in there, or she was already in there. And then eventually I go up to the guy, and I'm like, I explain everything. I'm like, oh yeah, I replaced the motherboard, the CPU, and now it won't post, and now the RAM debug is flickering. Like relatively kind of semi-knowledgeable stuff about computers. Um, and then, as I'm leaving, I hear that lady go back up to the counter and she says, how do I plug in my laptop? It's just such a funny fucking like dichotomy of me, versus her. Poor lady. I think she did figure it out though. But what was the main thing that I did at first? I was still really wanting to play Minecraft, so I set up my Xbox 360 on my CRT with an old version of Minecraft on it. I forgot what title update it was. It was like I think it's title update 9. It's basically the equivalent of beta 1.7.3 in um the Xbox 360 edition. Um, Dear God, this music is loud. Um, what am I trying to say? Oh yeah, I played that for a few days. Um, Thing is, what really weird about Legacy Console Edition is that the music plays on repeat. Because in Java, as you're aware, I'm sure it plays like only like once every in-game day or like twice every in-game day, like during the night or during the morning, like during sunset or sunfall. That's the same thing. Sunset or sunrise. Um, this is loud as fuck. In Legacy Console Edition, though, it's always playing. Like once one song ends, it just begins again, which does make sense why I'm so nostalgic for these tunes, because in the version that I was playing, they were playing all the damn time. It wasn't like Java, where they only play intermittently. But it's very interesting. I liked it though. Very interesting. I love, as much as I love not having to deal with battery controllers anymore. And I really do love it. I hate fucking batteries. But one thing I really do miss about battery powered controllers is that turning them off feels so good, because I never like turn them off with like the the in console menu or whatever, where you actually like press the button that's like turn off controller or whatever. However, I always turn them off is I just take out the battery cover, and I don't know. It feels cool. It feels efficient. I can't do that with USB controllers, and it sucks. Not really. Well, one thing that I did do a lot of during my the intermission in my life, the pause in my life, was I did watch a lot of movies. It definitely gave me a good excuse to watch a lot more movies. And what am I trying to say? Oh yeah, it was awesome. I watched well, the first movie that I watched was Magic Sword from 1901. That doesn't really count though. That's like it's like a short movie, like 2 minutes long or something. But it was a very cool movie. It's in the public domain. Just go look up Magic Sword and like go watch it on like Wikipedia or whatever. It's honestly pretty cool. But the first movie that I really watched, because it's October. The first movie that I watched was Ghost Watch. And Ghost Watch was fucking incredible. Like it actually like completely blew me away by how good it was. If you don't know anything about Ghost Watch, it's basically a mockumentary horror film from 1992, which is really cool. 'Cause like that's pretty like not like super ahead of its time, but like that was before Blair Witch Project, which is really what set the scene off for that. But it was a pre Blair Witch Project. It wasn't exactly in the same style as Blair Witch Project, because it wasn't like found footage, but it was like a mockumentary type deal. But what made Ghost Watch so special is that it wasn't just a movie; it was a TV movie. by the BBC, which is ridiculous. So what it was the BBC, they always aired like specials and whatever. So on Halloween of 1992, they aired a special called Ghost Watch, which is what I watched. And now what was Ghost Watch? It was well, it was posed to look like a real BBC special. Like the main dude in it, it took place like in the BBC, like television. What's it called? Like the set. Yeah, the set. That's the word. It took place in the normal BBC set and all that shit. And like the main guy who was like narrating it from that was like the BBC guy. I, I really hate that acronym, especially when used in a sentence like that. But he was the BBC guy. I forgot his name, but he was like a very well respected, like an extremely well respected. Oh, that's a spawner. An extremely well respected like journalist, and like announcer or whatever you want to call him. Um, so to like have him like play the role in it, like it was very real. Like people like it very odd spawner though. Maybe that's not a spawner. Maybe I placed that damn cobblestone. Um but it just added to the credibility of how real it seemed. Did hear a creeper. But they didn't they while they did try and make it look real, they didn't like try and like really trick people. Like they had a like at the beginning of the segment, they had a thing that said that it was fictional, and like during it they had a like a number you could call because it was like the BBC. So they had like call this number and tell us your ghost stories and whatever, and maybe give us more information. And whenever you actually called that number, it would remind you that this was fictional, and all that. Um, but it was very convincing. Like if you didn't call the number and you didn't see the warning at the beginning, then you probably would have thought that this was fucking real. And a lot of people did think it was real. Like a lot of people. Um, like there were tons of calls to like the BBC, like asking if this was real and whatever. Um, but yeah, it's a really incredible movie. Like the actual story of it is that they're investigating a haunted house. I mean, it's not like a complex story or anything. It's a very like normal haunted house movie, but just the way that it's recorded and the atmosphere of it, it's very very good to watch. I highly recommend Ghost Watch 1992. Um, oh, hello. We meet again. I should say. I do want some pork, some John Pork. Did you see that John Pork was on Jeopardy? Why the fuck did they put John Pork on Jeopardy? Um, and then that dude apologized on Instagram Reels for stating that John Pork was AI generated. Sorry, that's too. Oh, hello there. Um, anywho, yeah, Ghostwatch is great. And then the rest of my days watching movies, I devoted to Michael Myers. Um, I kind of just one day I was like, you know what? I kind of just want to watch like a slasher. I never watched Halloween before. I kind of just want to watch like just a horror film. I don't really got to think too much about what I'm watching, type shit. Um, so I put on Halloween. Incredible movie. Um, John Carpenter is such a fucking genius. Um, but yeah, one thing I really love about Halloween is the way that it positions Michael Myers like in the frame, and like the way like he stalks people. It's so fucking good. Um, like they don't always put like his full body in frame, to kind of like make him feel like almost supernatural and like he's everywhere, like always. You know what I'm saying? Um, But yeah, if you haven't watched Halloween, I do recommend Halloween. So then I spent the next like week watching Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Halloween 4, and Halloween 5. And I haven't watched Halloween 6 yet because the past few days I've been busy. Um, and and since today's Halloween tonight, I'm not gonna watch it. Um, because I'm doing something else for Halloween. But so I guess I'll probably get to Halloween 6 next year. But I have heard a lot about Halloween 6 and how fucking ridiculous it is. I know a little bit about it. Um, they were off their fucking rockers with Halloween 6. Seriously. Um, which is funny to say because the other Halloweens aren't like normal either. They're pretty fucking insane, all things considered. Thanks for giving me the pigs without um having to make me go actually venture out into the night. I do appreciate that. Um, but yeah, the Halloween series is so funny because it just keeps getting more and more ridiculous with each entry. Like Halloween 1 was normal. It's just a dude who wants to kill people. Okay, that's normal. Sometimes I want to kill people too. Not really. Um, all things considered, that's a pretty normal plot. Halloween 2 is like, okay, this guy, he wants to kill more people. Okay. And then Halloween 3. Oh, Halloween 3 is such a fucking incredible movie. That's seriously one of my favorite, like immediately one of my favorite horror movies. It is just how the fuck did they come up with that shit? If you don't know, Halloween 3 is the one movie in the Halloween franchise that doesn't actually have to do with the rest of the movies because John Carpenter, he already didn't want to make a Halloween 2. He wasn't like ecstatic about it, which is why he didn't direct it for one. But by the time Halloween 2 was out, that kind of gave like a conclusion, that gave a conclusion to the story. So when they were going to make Halloween 3, John Carpenter and Deborah Hill had the idea of, okay, let's make Halloween an anthology series where basically every film is its own contained film that just takes place on Halloween. So like Halloween 3 will have nothing to do with the first two. Halloween 4, they'll all be like their own self-contained stories and their own self-contained worlds and whatever. And it's just an anthology series of like Halloween focused movies, like movies that take place in Halloween. So they went for that with Halloween 3, and then Halloween 3 was a failure in the box office and critically. So then they gave up on that idea, which is really a shame because that idea had a lot of potential. But Halloween 3 is really fucking good. Like, it is. I can't even begin to describe how ridiculous it is because it like spoils the movie. And I don't want to spoil the movie for you if you haven't watched it because you gotta watch it. It's so insane. Um, but yeah, and then Halloween 4 was decent. The actual film itself was decent. Um, Probably on par with Halloween 2. Halloween 2, looking back on it, it was decent too. But the ending of Halloween 4 was fucking incredible. One of my favorite film endings. It was like the performance from Dr. Loomis, Donald Pleasance during that scene is just like so fucking palpable. Like it is ridiculous how incredible that ending scene was. Like it was such a good ending scene that it could have very, very easily just ended the whole series with it. Like, it gives such a good conclusion to the whole series of like Michael passing down his evil. But of course, they made a Halloween 5, and Halloween 5 they chickened out. They didn't go with the obvious way that Halloween 4 framed its ending of creating a new antagonist, and instead they made it so that antagonist was like possessed by Michael or some shit, and then she goes into like a fucking mental hospital and like she has fucking telepathic communications with Michael. It's so fucking funny, but God, it would have been like just another universe. I mean, the thing is that we keep getting Halloween reboots. You know, you got Rob Zombie's reboot. You had fucking Halloween in 2018 that continued the sequel to the original Halloween. It even ignored Halloween 2, which is surprising because Halloween 2 was produced and written by John Carpenter. Um, Alas, that Halloween 2018 even ignored Halloween 2. And, you know, Halloween H20 starts after Halloween 2, which is another reboot, and then yada yada. Um, but we've never gotten a Halloween reboot where they continue the story after Halloween 4 with a new antagonist, which is like insane. Like that's the obvious way to go about that, you know? Um, but we haven't, and it's such ridiculous missed potential. Like that has so much potential to be like a fucking like incredible series, you know? But we haven't got it. I mean, I guess we're always getting new fucking Halloween movies apparently, so it's not completely out of the picture that it won't eventually happen. But it was quite disappointing that it didn't happen in Halloween 5. Halloween 5 had it was definitely the worst of the films that I've so far at least. I haven't heard great things about Halloween Resurrection or Halloween H20, but honestly, Halloween H20, the premise of Halloween H20 seems so fucking ridiculous that I think I'll love it. Um, okay. Um, but yeah, Halloween 5 definitely the worst of the movies, but it still had some really good scenes, like the barn scene, the laundry chute scene. You know, like it was still a decent slasher. Just the story was pretty fucking stupid. Um, Not saying that the rest of the Halloween story isn't stupid, because it is. Literally, the story is just, oh, Michael's evil. Literally in every movie, like all of Pleasant's lines are just, I was his psychiatrist. I looked at, what does he say? I, I would. I've been with him for 50. Okay, that makes him sound gay. I I've been I've what does psychiatrists do? I've been therapeuting him. I've known him for 15 years. Those eyes are pure evil. He's got the devil's eyes, that child. He could still be out here. That's just him every single movie. So, you know, it's not like the story is like super deep or anything. But, you know, at least it was like, at least I wasn't like that stupid. Halloween 5 is just kind of stupid. It kind of just doesn't do anything. I guess that's the main point. It doesn't do anything, Halloween 5. Like Halloween 4, like all the Halloweens before that, they do stuff. Not really Halloween 2. Halloween 2 honestly didn't do that much either. Um, but Halloween 4 it did more shit than Halloween 2. Um, with the ending at least. I mean, the ending to Halloween 2 would have ended the series, but like, I mean, it wasn't that good of an ending. I mean, the scene itself was cool, like the cinematography of it, but as an actual conclusion, the conclusion of Halloween 4 was much better. Um, Alas, um, I'm quite excited to watch Halloween 6 though because of how ridiculous it is. Or you know how what I've heard of how ridiculous it is, I guess. Um, I do love me some ridiculous ass movies. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. I'm watching Halloween, and then today's actually Halloween, and my partner's coming over, and we are going to watch John Carpenter's The Thing, and I'm very excited. It's actually insane how much The Thing was lambasted on release. Like it literally ruined John Carpenter's reputation. Like it made like his deal with Universal or whatever like cancel, and like he lost like he was gonna direct some big movie, I forgot, but then like because of how much The Thing was hated, he got dropped from that. Um, you know, he stated that like because of how bad The Thing was received, that's why he had to produce some of the films that he had to produce. Like Trouble in Little China. Like you know, he didn't really like. He's proud of that movie, but like if The Thing didn't flop, then he wouldn't have made that movie. You know, like he only made that movie because he had to. Even though he is proud of it. Um, Alas, nowadays, of course, The Thing is regarded as like the best horror movie of all time. You know, one of the best, if not the best. Um, it's just insane how ahead of its time it is. Like, it might like to be such a big flop to tank somebody's career and then like years later be regarded as like the best horror movie of all time is insane. Like that's like the biggest compliment you can get about your movie. Infinitely more than like it being loved on release. But yeah, I'm very excited to watch it. I've never watched it. They've watched it though, but I've never watched it. Um, yeah, those are the movies that I watched. Um, I did watch one more. Oh, help! Where? Where? All right. Um, oh, I see. Um, I did watch one other thing. It wasn't a movie. It was a TV show. I watched Serial Experiments Lane, and okay. The thing is with Lane. The thing is with Lane is that I can't stress enough how like I'm the opposite of your typical binge watcher, you know? Like whenever I watch TV shows or listen to music, I always like I watch them extremely slow. Like I really like soak in like the artistry of it. You know what I'm saying? Um like I would never like watch like I'm not like a binge watcher at all, you know? Like I need to give myself time to really understand like the artistic message behind what it's saying. So, a show it really has to be special for me to finish its entire 13 episode runtime in one day. And that's what yeah, that's what happened with Lane. Lane is truly like one of my all-time favorite like things ever. It is truly like a masterpiece in all senses. And its message and its visuals and its aesthetic and literally every part of Lane is just fucking incredible. If you haven't watched Serial Experiments Lane, if you don't know anything about Serial Experiments Lane, it's a I'm writing a blog post about it actually because I did finally set up a blog platform as well during my free time that I liked. Um, but I am watching a blog or I am making a blog about it. But how I summed it up in one sentence was that it was a Serial Experiments Lane is a 1998 science fiction Dinpa anime about reality and its connection to the digital world. Um, and it's fucking incredible. It's seriously like I can't praise it enough. Like you know, I went into it like knowing that it was gonna be good because you know it's praised as like one of the best animes um of all time. But like so you know I had high expectations. I had really high expectations, and it still exceeded my expectations. Um, so yeah, watch Lane. It's really fucking good. Like really good. Like insanely fucking good. Um, the opening, by the way, as well. I don't. We're never gonna get another anime opening as good as Lane. Like it's fucking. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm getting so excited thinking about it. Okay. Um. Yeah, I watched Lane, and now I really want to collect old electronics again, because I want a room like Lane's. That's kind of my dream. Whenever I have like my own place, half of it is gonna be like a medieval library, and then the other half of it is gonna be fucking Lane's room with like carbon dioxide water cooling, making like it's like flooding the room. uh, yeah, I really want to collect old gadgets and like old keyboards, you know, like old romplers and stuff like that. Like old Casio, shitty Casio keyboards. And like you know, I just want like server racks and shit. But I kind of need my job to start, and it hasn't started. So yeah, I'm just kind of floundering around until that shit starts. I'm really running out of inventory space here, though. What can I throw away? I guess I don't need to throw anything away yet. I would like to find diamonds, though. Get some obsidian while I'm down here. I will try and get as much redstone as possible, that's for sure. Anyway, yeah, we did put up some Halloween decorations, which was very fun. I do love Halloween and its silly little decorations a lot. That was fun. Oh yeah, probably the biggest thing that happened was that I got a. Oh, hold on, I gotta respond to my sister. Yeah, I did get a car. You know, until okay, this is a really bad time for that to happen. Jesus. Okay, I need a second to stop. What the hell is going on? What the fuck? I feel like I'm dying. What is going on? Okay, are we okay? Okay, we're fine. Okay, I'm gonna try and go into full screen. Okay, we're good. Can this fucking chat box get out of the way? Thank you. Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah, up until no, I've just been driving my mom's car. But yeah, now I have my own car, and now I'm paying car insurance, so it sucks. Which is why I kind of really need this job to get started because I have to pay a lot of car insurance next month. I already paid for, this month. But yeah, it's quite a lot of car insurance, or quite a lot of money, compared to, they it's less money the older you get because you're like a trusted driver at that point, whatever. But it's a lot of money right now. So I kind of really need that job to start. But I have been selling some stuff just in case it doesn't start until then. Because that's kind of like the one thing that I kind of do need to buy, is car insurance. But yeah, I really love the car. It's a I don't know if I want to say what it is, just because like I don't know. I just don't like to say like too much about my personal life. Like I don't really like to say who I'm employed by or like what area I live in, stuff like that. Um, but it is a very cool car. I will say that it is a cool little car, and I like it a lot. Um, it is kind of like exactly the type of car I was looking for. It doesn't have a backup camera, which sucks. That's the one thing. I know you can like install your own, which I might do eventually. Same with like a dash cam, just in case. It's kind of one. Dash cam isn't really necessary, but it's like just in case some fuck shit happens. I have it on video or whatever. But backup camera definitely I want to get at some point. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. What else? Oh yeah, it also gave me a lot of time to listen to a lot of music. I listened to Cult of the Lizard God. I listened to Grimdoor, and I started reading my Dungeon Synth book a bit. But it wasn't really a great time to read my Dungeon Synth book because I didn't have access to my computer to like, listen to new stuff. But I did read a bit of it. What should I throw away? I don't need feathers or string, really. But yeah, and then I listened to a bunch of Nasenbluten. Like I listened to like 3 of their albums, and those are long ass albums. I listened to some Chews. There's too much going on. I listened to did I already eat my pork? I did. Did you look at that? All right, you didn't have to do all that shit. I listen to Choose. I listen to Instagram Filter. I listen to Sebastian Gondera. I listen to FTC Project. I listen to Siegfried. I listen to a bunch of really awesome music. Um, but yeah, it really does. Like, I was just thinking, like, I need to respond to this tag. Wait, let me see what it says. Oh, my sister is saying there's a new Goodwill that just opened up. I didn't know that. She also said that I'm not into Goodwill lately. Me neither. I'm never really into Goodwill. Goodwill kind of sucks. Um, okay, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. But it's just kind of I've been kind of thinking a lot about how like things are really simple until they change. I don't know where I saw that quote at. I think I just read it somewhere. I don't know where the fuck I read that quote, but I've been thinking about it a lot. Things really are simple until they kind of change. But I guess that's kind of why I really love change, you know? Like even though the past 3 weeks have sucked because I didn't get to do my main hobby, et cetera, et cetera. Um, it was kind of fun, you know? Like it was different. And honestly, I do appreciate that. Like even though it was, it gave me I was able to watch cool movies. I was able to watch like my favorite TV show, my favorite anime like ever. Um so there's definitely like it wasn't all like I didn't hate every second of it, obviously. I still enjoyed my time being alive. Um but yeah, it was just different. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay for things to be different. Okay. But anyway, I'm gonna make a diamond pickaxe though. Check this shit out. Damn, this is the first time I didn't even make a diamond pickaxe in my other fucking world. I would like to get obsidian, but I don't really have the inventory space for it. I kind of want to go back up to the surface just to get some more or like just to place down a chest and shit. I just don't have space for all this shit. Oops. Can I have that back, please? No? All right, that's fine. All right, that's chill. All right, you don't got to be doing all that. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're chill. That is such a good sentence, though. You don't got to be doing all that. It is real. It is real. It's real as fuck. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. It's been pretty uneventful mostly in my life. I've really missed recording. I truly have. Um, yeah, and I'm really excited to be back. So excited, and I have so much to talk about that I'll probably immediately record another episode after this. Um, as well as I kind of need to because I'll be busy today and tomorrow, so I kind of I want to start the daily schedule again. Um, but yeah, damn, it feels really good to be back. Seriously. I would like a way out of this cave, though. I have no damn clue where I am at this point in relation to the surface. I mean, honestly, I could just throw away a bunch of shit if I really wanted to keep. I know. I need food. I do need food. I have so much shit in my fucking in my notes app. I have so much shit that I've compiled in the past fucking 3 weeks. Oh my god. Um, not really even a lot though, is the thing. Like really, it's only like if it was like a regular like 3 weeks where I was recording, I would have compiled like times 30 that amount of shit. But usually like when I'm recording on that basis, I was like writing down every single thought that I had, which wasn't the case here. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. I do have a lot of shit though still. That being said. Today's gonna be fun though. I'm gonna I'm gonna watch the thing. I'm gonna go thrift shopping. It's gonna be a fun Halloween. I hope your Halloween was well. This will come out tomorrow, so Halloween would have been yesterday for you. What'd you do for Halloween? All right, before I end this episode, I want to go back to the surface. Here, actually, you know what? We'll end it here. I'll see you tomorrow.